Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. And today I was a little unsure about what I wanted to play, and then I found this list I had been tinkering with a while back and never really sort of followed up on. And it's this Dimir creature Doomsday deck, let's call it that. So uh, I'm playing full 4 set of Tamiyos. I'm playing Bowmasters in the main and Barrowgoyf. So there is just an actual like resolve creatures, turn them sideways, and eventually win plan. There's a Planeswalker plan, and then there's Doomsday. I'm only running two quote unquote removal spells. One is Drown in the Lock, the other one is Fatal Push, and then I have a lot more in the sideboard. I don't really know how well this is going to play out. I also don't know if I want this Emrakul Sheldog Isle sideboard pivot. I found it like this was a list I started on a long time ago, and so I think at that time I thought this was a fine pivot plan, and it still might be. I like being able to beat Painter. I think I'm gonna keep it just for reasons. There's a lot of graveyard shenanigans going on. I think 3 Grafdigger's Cages is probably the bare minimum, or 3 of that effect. I decided to add 1 subtlety because I still think there's a lot of sort of white initiative kind of decks. And yeah, a couple of Murktides. These could be in the main deck as well, but I'm not sure in place of what. This list is sort of bare bones when it comes to Doomsday. Like only 2 Lotus Petals is kind of iffy in my opinion. I would like 3, but there you go. I'm on 2 Cyclers. That's also really low. No personal tutors. So we're not gonna be as dedicated to Doomsday deck as usual, but I still think this could probably work. This could probably be kind of fun. So I'm gonna try it. All right, I am on the draw here for round number 1 with a turn 1 Tamiyo with Daze backup, Ponder. Kind of awkward that both of my Doomsday win conditions in Thassa and Jace are in here, but yeah, it is what it is. Uh-oh. I was just gonna say, I don't want to see Volcanic Island and Dragon's Rage Chandler because like they're gonna have Lightning Bolt. Uh, so I don't expect Tamiyo to necessarily make it, but we'll see. They put Wasteland in their graveyard. That makes me think they might already have a Wasteland. And they saw Tamiyo. Okay. Well, oops, I just clicked through here. Yeah, I think there's a good chance they have a Wasteland, so I'm not going to play out this Underground Sea. Instead, I'm going to fetch Basic Island here and play my Tamiyo. And if they have a Daze here, they will probably use it, just because it's very interesting for the opponent to get Surveil equity here, but they didn't, so I'm going to assume they don't have one. Okay, so now any Lightning Bolt is going to, I can Daze that now, because they pondered. They get Delirium, so they have to attack, which means my Tamiyo can attack without getting killed here. They might have a second Dragon's Rage Channeler, in which case I will Daze that. I don't think they had Daze before, but I could be wrong. They could. If I was them and I had Force here, I would probably Force. Okay. That didn't happen. Alright, we have Brainstorm, which is pretty interesting, I think. So let's attack. Do I want to flip Tamiyo here? So if I flip her, I plus her up to 4, they attack her down to 2. And that way we can sort of just keep going. I think I am going to do that. Let's put back, I guess, Thassa and, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to redraw some of this. I'm going to put back Dark Ritual because I don't want 2 Dark Rituals. And then I guess I'll draw Thassa. No, 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 no. Oh, oh, God. I did it. I did the thing. I clicked Yield. I've done this before with Tamiyo. And then, like, oh, what a fucking waste. I'm sorry. Sorry, pardon my French. Yep, well, is what it is. Nothing I can do to change it now, but yeah, that was very dumb. And there's that Wasteland I kind of expected them to have, and they have their own Tamiyo. Oh, God. Yeah, so what I did was like, it's just sort of a sort of MTGO mechanics thing that I don't know why I keep doing it. Like I click yield until end of turn when I am resolving the brainstorm and Tamiyo flip kind of thing, and then I realize too late, and it go yeah you saw what happened. All right, well now they have Tamiyo, so let's see if we can. I think I fetch here. They can then wasteland me, but I think I don't want to ponder into that dark ritual. Oops. Let's ponder with this island here. There's a drown in the lock. That can stave off the problems a little bit, but you'd have to imagine if they aren't sitting on like counter magic, they're gonna get to resolve a creature next turn. I think I'm gonna shuffle these. They wasteland me. Oh, I don't know if I can shake off that terrible punt. We do have like, I guess, this turn to find either Doomsday or like a Barrowgoyf. I'm not sure Doomsday is going to cut it because we'll be at 6 and they have 3 power. Bowmasters. So they haven't seen anything right yet, I don't think, to indicate that I even have Doomsday in my deck. So they probably think that I am a, what do you call it? Just like a Dimir tempo deck. So let's leave them in that leaf. I'm not going to Dark Ritual for the same reason. Okay, so Bowmasters is in. That's going to ping Tamiyo. And another Bowmasters. Okay. Well, what do I do here? I could Dark Ritual and then like eat the clue and then still have Bowmasters mana. I think I am going to do that. That kind of gives up that I'm not just a Dimir tempo deck. Okay, so this is going to make the army a 2/2, which is going to allow it to ping Tamiyo for 1 in combat. I'm going to eat the clue. Well, there's Fatal Push. That's not nothing, I guess. Well, we have to fade Wasteland here so that we can Fatal Push next turn. They keep plus in Tamiyo, understandable. So I'm going to attack Tamiyo down to 6. And I think I'll Fatal Push on their turn. And I will Force of Will. I'm going to let this DRC trigger resolve. They keep a card on top, so that's kind of scary. I Force. This is probably Murktide. Oh, 2 red mana. Oh, this is the one that I've not played against this yet. Corey Steelcutter, but it's the Young Pyromancer equipment. Okay. And they Unholy Heat. My one Bowmaster. Okay. It is almost kind of interesting that they didn't kill the army. I guess it makes sense. My opponent has asked why no trigger Corey. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn. That is a good question. Usually these things count themselves, right? Or do they? Like if I were to cast Deafening Silence, could I then cast a Ponder? I'm pretty sure my opponent is correct here. Alright. Yeah. I guess that's why they thought they were getting a creature. Ooh. Alright, I think, I don't know, like if they have Lightning Bolt, then I just lose to making the Doomsday play. Whereas if they don't, then no, I think I actually have to cast Barrowgoyf here. Because I think even if they don't have Lightning Bolt, like if I Doomsday, then I'm at 2, so I only have 1 Edge of Autumn. And then, so I can't put Street Wraith. Oh, bummer, but I'm an idiot. They, of course, just Unholy Heat my thing here. Deal 6, yeah. And can they trigger it then? Yep. And now, well, they do Ponder, which is means they're gonna take 1 off of Orcish Bowmasters. Probably I'm gonna ping Tamiyo. Because Tamiyo minused, so my creatures are free to attack her. But if they have Lightning Bolt, I guess we'll find out, right? They didn't, did they shuffle? They did not shuffle. Okay. Does this tramples? I guess I will kill Tamiyo. I don't think there's a way I can win this. Actually, maybe. And if that's the case, I should have attacked with my Bowmasters. They daze this, okay. I will pay. Drops me to 2. I mean, that's a daze they don't have on their turn. They could have dazed their own spell as a second spell and paid for it and whatnot. But they have a second daze, okay. And then they get another one. Yeah, I'm just... So, not sure exactly what having had Tamiyo for a couple of turns would have mattered, but it could have mattered for sure. So, that was quite the punt on my part. I think I will try and... I don't know. Like, do I keep any Doomsday here? Or do I just try and be like a better, like a Dimir tempo deck? I think I might need to try and do that. So I'll board in my removal spells, my 4th Barrowgoyf, my 2 Murktides, and Subtlety. Subtlety is obviously not amazing, but it's also not irrelevant. I'll board out all the Doomsday stuff. And what's better, Thassa's Oracle or Jace as the one remaining thing? I think it's probably Thassa. I mean, Jace is better once in play, but it's also a 4-mana play versus a Wasteland Daze deck. And Thassa is card advantage with Barrowgoyf, or can be, and it's just like a body on the ground. I don't know. It's neither of them are particularly good, right? But all right, let's try and see if we can play better this time around. Heck yes, I am all about this hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go fetch Underground Sea, cast Dark Ritual, and if it resolves, I'm going to Thoughtseize. And oh, they're down to 5. And this will also make my Barrowgoyf a 3/4. So even if they were to have Lightning Bolt, it should be fine. All right, Dark Ritual resolved. Please don't have double force, double blue card. What card am I most afraid of? The Kori Steel Cutter or Tamiyo? I think it's probably Tamiyo. I could also like get rid of their Pyroblast so as to have my own, like get my own Tamiyo, but I have 2 Tamiyos. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get rid of Tamiyo. That also puts a creature in the graveyard. I guess the Steel Cutter would have put an artifact. Yeah, whatever. There will be an artifact because of their bauble. Bauble themselves. Like what they see. Didn't like what they saw anyways. Land would be great here. Yes, please. Let's see. There are already instants and creatures in the graveyards, or playing the Tamiyo pre-combat would have been better, but maybe not, because if I hit Bowmasters here, it's kind of good. I do. Okay. And they concede to that. All right. Yeah, I'm only into 5, and then facing Barrowgoyf on turn 1 is kind of tough. For some reason, the Magic Online client is lagging like a lot right now. I don't know if my computer is just like really struggling. I don't think I change anything here. So let's just resend it. Yeah. I like this hand. They also like the 7 they had. Feels like they probably have a Pyroblast. I think I just go land go here. I would kind of like to maybe play Tamiyo next turn and then have Brainstorm available. Like maybe they let Tamiyo resolve and then like try to Pyroblast her. I don't know. I also like this cavern could be quite fruitful. I could Dark Ritual Bowmasters here, but I don't think I'm interested in that. That plays into too many things. Okay. I think I'm gonna play into Wasteland here and get a Surveil happening with Undercity Sewers. Like having basics is really nice in this matchup, but the rest of my hand is also just kind of big on what do you call it? like non-basic lands. And we kept a Tamiyo on top, which I think is fine. Alright, I'm gonna play Tamiyo and not show them the land. I think that might incentivize them to let it resolve. Sure, it plays into days, but it's kind of awkward to days there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I really wish like Bowmasters had a better creature type. Wow, they went top. Sure. I'll float a blue. Now they can Pyroblast if they want. They didn't. So Barrowgoyf, if through the cavern is quite appealing, I would say. Let's attack with Tamiyo. And let's just pass. Steel cutter thingy. I am actually going to brainstorm right now. This might prompt them to like Pyroblast or something. A lot of nice options here. I kind of want all these cards. Maybe not the second Tamiyo. Although I don't know. All right, let's put them back like this. So they pretty obviously kept open a volcanic island for Pyroblast reasons. Lightning bolts. Now it triggers. That's interesting. So they bolt me and then they get to kill the Tamiyo. Or do they? How about it? I might just try and Dark Ritual right now. See what they think about that. Okay, so I'm gonna ping the token. And then I'm going to block it with the Orc army. And probably my Tamiyo still takes 1, yeah, because that's how that works. Because of trample. Another Barrowgoyf. Let's attack here. And unfortunately Barrowgoyf is not that big. It's only like a 3/4, I believe. And they do have that wasteland. Oh shit. No, I did plus. Yeah, but we are looking like it's our board versus their core steel cutter, which is obviously like a pretty big threat. Is this Murktide? And they bolt my Goyf. Yeah, that's rough. Now they can wasteland the cavern. They wasteland my underground sea, okay. And Tamiyo, I guess, is being attacked, I would assume, yeah. So a land here would be really big. I don't draw land. Bummer. So I think I need to cast Ponder and really need mana. So this would let me cast. No, I can't cast both Murktide and Barrowwave next turn, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose to this board here, unfortunately. So let's see. Tamiyo pluses. They are going to need to take a turn off attacking me to kill Tamiyo if that's what they want to do. And then maybe not even if they can chain 2 spells together, the Murktide can be pointed at me. That would take me to 9. No, 10. Then I resolve Barrowgoyf. Then I take more damage and then I attack and gain life. That's not impossible. Let's draw some lands here. And let's plus Tamiyo. And no good attacks, of course. They cast Preordain. So that pings them. They would need. No, there's no way I can. I think kill the monk token. So I'm just gonna point the ping at them. Because like if they were to cast more spells, they get more prowess. So they could also just attack me here. Like deal me 7. They are attacking Tamiyo though. Tamiyo takes 7. Oh no, I took 2 damage. So I guess one of them attacked me. Okay. Let's draw another land. Yeah. And let's fetch basic island. So I have a 4/5 Tamiyo, or not Tamiyo, Barrowgoyf. But I'm not sure. Like if they have lightning bolt, they can just kill like wait for me to block and then kill the Barrowgoyf. But I still think it's the correct play. And then the question is if I can afford to attack here. They would need to cast 2 spells to trigger the core steel cutter. I think I do attack. They don't attack. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I just take my draw step here. Another Bowmasters. So I could make a big Murktide. Question is, do they have? I could thought seize them down to 10 and then make a big Murktide. I think maybe I would rather do that. If they have a bolt here, they have to use it progressively. They have force of will. Okay. Pitching the brainstorm that they weren't using anyways. Okay. So let's just see here. I have 2 sorceries and I have 2 instants. And my opponent has both instant and sorcery, but like if they make a Murktide, then they shrink my Barrowgoyf. I also probably am safe to assume that they have like um like a Pyroblast in hand. Yeah, I'm gonna pass here. I don't want to give them another token, and I want them, if they want to do that, they have to use a lightning bolt to do it, not a Pyroblast on my Barrowgoyf or on my Murktide rather. Okay, no attack still. I'm gonna flash in the second Bowmasters, I think. Or do I just draw a card? Drown in the lock. Okay. So this can't kill uh, their Murktide yet. They have there needs to be 2 more cards in the graveyard, right? Less than or equal to the number of cards in the controller's graveyard. Okay. That also gets pyroblasted. Okay, what happens if I kill this monk token right now and then attack with my Barrowgoyf? I'm gonna try that. Do they want to trade? I see that they do. And then we pass. Wasteland, okay. Now they take my my cavern. Ironically, now they could actually take me off double blue. I'm gonna make this second Bowmasters now while I can and try to push the advantage. Okay. Force of Will. They have 1 card left. Is it the Pyroblast that I have been sort of playing around all day? No, they're using mana. Oh, it is, but they just want a token. Wow, okay. So now I get to make a big Bowmasters, or a Murktide rather. Okay. Let's see. Fatal Push, Dark Ritual, Ponder. I'd take another Brainstorm. And I'll take the last one, make it a Thoughtseize. Alright, let's hope they don't top deck too well. Wow, they concede! Yay! We came back from the brink from that terrible misplay in game number 1. But yeah, just Barrowgoyfs and Bowmasters came up pretty big. Alright, sweet. Off to round number 2. Alright, on the draw again here for round number 2. Let's go ahead and keep this hand. Misty Rainforest. The mistiest of rainforests. Yeah, let's play Tamiyo. We'll get basic island. Well, they're fetching eagerly on my main phase pass. Oh, okay. I thought, like, sometimes when that happens, it's like someone just can't wait to lightning bolt or play a removal spell. Undercity Sewers. Wonder if this is Doomsday. No, they have Hedge Maze. 2 surveil lands, typically. Not really a thing in Doomsday, but could be. Black mana. Blue mana, okay. Blue mana doesn't usually kill creatures, so much happier about that. Casting the Ponder. Could be Bug Beans. Could be Doomsday, I mean, I guess. Okay, they Fatal Push. I'm just gonna let that happen and move on with my life. Oh, look at that. There's a Doomsday. Casting this Brainstorm. Okay, sweet. Let's get rid of Basic Swamp and Lion's Eye Diamond. Or actually, let's get rid of Basic Swamp and Doomsday in case I get Thoughtseized. So I'm just going to pass here and then take my draw step without shuffling. Really hoping not to see like a Narset or a Leovold or something here. Green mana, probably Leovold then. Okay, up the Beanstalk, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I'm not happy about it, but alright, let's see if we can resolve this Doomsday. This is also a deck, Bug Beanstalk, that sometimes plays like a single or one or two copies of like Stifle or Consign to Memory. I'm expecting a fight here, but we'll see. Force of Will. So, do I force before or after the Beanstalk trigger? Probably before, but it also probably doesn't matter that much. Let's get rid of pawn. They're brainstorming. Okay, so this is Desperation Brainstorm. Let's hope they don't find a second force. Okay, so I mean they can have a force. We don't know, but I'm gonna play as if they don't because they, because of the way they acted here. So I'm gonna actually just try and go for the win. They don't have mana for Consign or Stifle. We don't. We're not able to get to Jace here. We're gonna be a mana short, but that's also fine because they're a Daze deck, maybe or probably. So let's just try and win with Thassa. And so the choice is win with Thassa with a card left in the deck, but a mana floating, constantly playing around Daze. Or win with an empty deck, but playing into Daze. And I don't think they'll be playing Snuff Out. So I think it's fine. Let's put Jace as a card they don't need to know that we have. We could also I don't know, hide the Bowmasters. But then we'll have to show them Jace. Daze can actually still get us here if they daze the LED. Let's see here. So we play Consider, we bin Bowmasters, draw, Cycler, Thassa. We have a blue mana floating. Let's try that. And we put Jace on the bottom. Alright. Let's see. Cast Consider, maintain priority, and sack for blue. Get rid of the Bowmasters. Cycle and cycle. Play Thassa. I guess they could have endurance, but I would not be expecting that. Thassa's in. Alright, sweet. So Bug Beans. I like some of the creatures here versus them. I actually like a lot of the creatures. Do we want removal? Emrakul Sheldog Isle is also not terrible. But they are a Wasteland deck though, yeah. They probably play Bowmasters of their own. I don't want a lot though. And let's get rid of the LED and the Consider. I don't whenever I've been playing with Bug lately, where Veil of Summer is a thing, I've been keeping in LED and Consider versus blue decks. But when you don't have that luxury, I don't when you don't have the ability to make stuff uncounterable the entire turn, then I feel less good about those. I don't know. Maybe what do we cut here? Like keeping Jace but not LED seems probably a little bit unwise. So I think I'm just gonna try and see if I can win either without having to resort to Doomsday, or by then discarding them before and getting rid of their consign to memory. I'll board out a Daze on the draw. Yeah, this hand is quite acceptable. They also like their 7. I think if this game is going to go any deep, it is really important that we keep up the Beanstalk off the table for as long as possible. So I am gonna I kind of hope they play that right now, and then I will Daze it. Though Daze is going back a land is annoying, but I think it's important. And that is exactly what appears to be happening here. I'm going to get Underground Sea, And I'm going to float a blue. I will force back if they have force of will here. And do I brainstorm? I think probably not. I want to keep that. Alright. Let's pass and hope they don't just have another one. They had a wasteland. Float blue. They're passing. I'm going to play brainstorm now, seeing as I can't play around days anyways. Oh, that was good. Alright, let's get rid of Street Wraith. And I'll redraw an Underground Sea. I might just take a turn off here and not play into days. And then get a Surveil as well if I can. Before I then untap and then Dark Ritual out this Barrowgoyf. They have a Brainstorm. No land drop, and they're passing. Okay. I am going to get Undercity Sewers here. Cavern of Souls would be nice. Bowmasters also pretty good. I'm gonna like hold off on the Bowmasters, and then I'm gonna try and see what they think about this Barrowgoyf. Okay, Barrowgoyf is in. We're passing. Is this petty theft? Oh, it's their own Bowmasters. Right, okay. I think I let that happen for now. I don't want to get this Fatal Push days, and I have my own Bowmasters as removal for their Bowmasters. And they have Brainstorm. Oof. If I had a Bowmasters in, or like another Dark Ritual, that would have been pretty sweet. They're cycling the Lore and Real. Okay, fair enough. And they're passing. So, what's the play here? I think I just attack with Barrowgoyf. Pretty sure they're gonna put the army in front of him. And I'll just pass. There's a Surveil land. Okay. How about you cast a cantrip? Okay, this looks like Murktide Regent. They're gonna eat up the beanstalk, so that takes a. And if the lore and revealed actually shrinks my Barrowgoyf with 2. Right. I think I am gonna force of will this, and see what they want to do about that. Okay, so that died. They didn't attack. I'm gonna flash in a Bowmasters of my own and try and close this game out. Ooh, another Barrowgoyf, yes please. That deals 5 to them. I gain 3, and I'm gonna mill 3 cards. I did an artifact, so that's not too bad. And then I'm gonna play my second Barrowgoyf, see what they have to say about that. That's in. They have another Murktide maybe? Oh, okay, and up the Beanstalk. Well, that's gonna draw a card, but at a cost. And this looks like Murktide. Numero dos. They can't really shrink my Goyfs though, because they don't have anything that I don't have. Is that right? Oh no, I guess not. There were no creatures in my graveyard. But okay, that's fine. So it's a 5/5. I think I am just gonna send it here. I mean, yeah, they can maybe not the Bowmasters, the 1 extra damage. So if I send it here, they either take 9 or they take 6, lose their Murktide, and I lose 1 Goyf. I still think that's probably preferable. Oh, they block the army, I guess, to keep their thing around. Okay. I'm gonna trigger this twice. First one missed. Second one, another Barrowgoyf. Yes, please. I'll play that. They force. Puts them down to 3 life now. And, I mean, I would rather have a 3rd Barrowgoyf, but I still think we're looking good here. They have drawn quite a few cards, so it's not impossible they could, like, wiggle their way out of this, but ooh, that's a good one. It does cost them 3 mana. They go down to 2 from the up the Beanstalk. They get to put the 2 best cards into their hand out of the top 4. But like them getting tapped out here, I think they have to do whatever it is they need to do with like at most 2 lands. If they have a land in hand, they can make their land drop, but I still think I don't see how they get out of this. Okay, they go out like a boss, right into the Bowmasters. All right, sweet, 2-0. Let's go. All right, on the play for round number 3, we have turn 1 Doomsday or turn 1 Barrowgoyf. Yeah, I'm not crazy about exposing myself this much, but then again, it's probably the correct play to do here. I don't know what my opponent might be playing. If they do have a Force of Will, they're going to get 3 for 2 us, which is... Alright, Doomsday is in. Sweet. Let's put Cavern of Souls, Thassa's Oracle, Scalding Tarn, and Basic Island, and then Edge of Autumn. So if they Wasteland us, we can no longer Fatal Push. I still think this is fine. So let's put Basic Island on the bottom, then Thassa, then Cavern, then Edge, then Scalding Tarn, and we'll pass. If they Thoughtseize us and take Ponder, then it's going to be a hot minute before we get through the pile. And they are a Polluted Delta deck, and an Underground Sea deck, and a Thoughtseize deck. Wow. Take the Ponder, sure. So my biggest concern right now, honestly, is that they're a combo deck, that they're like Doomsday themselves, or Storm or something, and that they kill us before we get to Thassa. Tundra, okay. Ugh. Doorkeeper Thrall? Let's hope not. And we have to pass one more time, and then we can execute our plan. Teferi, Time, Raveler, right. Yeah, okay. So let's cycle this Edge of Autumn into the Thassa's Oracle and fetch the Basic Island. Player Cavern on Merfolk, and they concede. So this could be an Esper Doomsday list. It could be Cephalid Breakfast, though I don't seem to remember them playing a lot of Thoughtseize in the main. I'm really unsure how to board here. Like Shellar Isle Emrakul, not amazing versus Teferi, but you know, still nice to put pressure on the blue-white decks. Post Doomsday, I don't know, I kind of almost feel like just not boarding at all. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is not too exciting, but probably worth keeping. Oh, hang on. It is Doomsday. The one deck that actually punishes me for yielding until end of turn there, I think, because like if they had the choice between winning on the same turn, but like more vulnerably so, or building a past turn pile, and they see that I'm just F6, then yeah. I don't think this hand lets me beat whatever pile they've made here. Let's see what kind of Doomsday deck they are. Okay, this looks, they have Bowmasters as well. 2 Teferi. Don't see any other creatures other than the 2 Bowmasters. That's interesting. Okay. Actually, let me just check. Assuming the Cavern of Souls is somewhere here. Or rather, is not here. Okay. Well, Dark Ritual is maybe my best draw here to get the Bowmaster or the Barrowgoyf beats going in case they've made like a really conservative and slow pile. Days. Not amazing. Let's cast Ponder. Orcish Bowmasters is good, but probably not good enough. But I will put it on top of my deck. I'll play Lion's Eye Diamond just in case somehow the world comes to an end if I can't pay for a daze. That's not going to happen though. Let's also see, I see 1, 2 Force of Will, 3 Force of Will. I only see 3 Force of Will, so they probably have one in their hand or in their pile. Oh, they're still waiting to see if they want to let LED resolve here. I would gladly let them counter that. Are they on days? Oh, yeah, they are on days, and I see one, two, three, four. All 4 days is they do play four. All right, LED is in after a while. Oh, they're just going for it now, scoundrels. Well, I mean, I am gonna daze this, and then they will use their force, I assume. No, okay, but that just means they have another days, another days, another Thassa, right? Oh wait, didn't I see Jace over here as well? Yeah, Jace. They wouldn't have two Thossas, so they must have like a reanimate. Um, I guess I'll ponder. I'm not sure. I mean, they could have two Thassa and a Jace. I've never seen that, but that certainly could be a thing here. Um, I guess I'll draw force and then draw a second force next turn if there is a next turn. But like we didn't see Cavern of Souls, so Cavern of Souls is in their last two cards, I would assume. Them playing Thassa without putting it through Cavern. Okay. Well, they're pondering and drawing their final card, so the game is going to be over one way or another real soon. Yeah, there's Cavern. So they just play two Thassa and a Jace, I guess. All right, GG's. Okay, so I am going to do some sideboarding now. I want two Force of Negation, and I want the Subtlety. Subtlety secretly being quite good versus the Doomsday. And I will, oh, I don't know. I feel like better being a creature deck than being a Doomsday deck in this matchup, to be honest. So I'm probably going to board in some creatures here and board out some, if not all, of the Doomsday package. Yeah, let's board out these. I'll board out Edge of Autumn as well. I'll leave 2 copies of Doomsday and Thassa. That's a pretty slender Doomsday package. 1 Street Wraith. I'll keep this. Yeah, I was going off on a little tangent about that earlier. The fact that Bowmasters is like an orc and archer, so you can never really get someone with a cavern. Like imagine if this had been like a wizard, um, but it isn't. So I also think I'm supposed to play the Verdant Catacombs there and keep Blue Delta just marginal differences here, but we're not up against a Wasteland deck, so okay. I'm gonna surveil at EOT here. Get the Undercity Sewers. I think we'll get rid of this Underground Sea. Third Dark Ritual. Alright, I'll pass for now, and then probably Brainstorm at some point before I get my turn here. Though probably not if they just pass. Dark Ritual, okay. Now a Petal. Is this Shieldred? Yeah. Holy cannoli. Well, let's Brainstorm. They even had the Petal to play around days. Yeah, I guess I just lose to Shieldred then. Did I see her last game? I didn't. So they had her in, I would assume. Okay. Hang on. Let me just I do have one Fatal Push and one Drown in the Lock somewhere in my deck. Let's get rid of one Dark Ritual and one land, I guess. Like, I mean, a Barrowgoyf, if they just don't attack, then I have to attack, because then otherwise I'm just falling behind. But I think Barrowgoyf would be kind of good here as well. So we're not dead, but it is going to happen pretty quickly. All right, Shieldred is in. They were passing. I'm gonna wait for my upkeep to fetch in case they want to Brainstorm. Don't want it to happen with my fetch land activation on the stack and no untap mana. That's not good. All right, let's pass. And we'll keep Bowmasters open, and I probably will have to flash in Bowmasters preemptively to put the army in front of Sheoldred, just to postpone the inevitable. But mind you, they play Bowmasters as well, so they could have that to kill my Bowmasters. They brainstorm, sure, gain lots of life. I won't ping Sheoldred because I can't deal her an additional 4 damage. Thoughtseize, sure. Take my days. Come on, Fatal Push. Come on, Barrowgoyf. Tamiyo. I guess I'll play Tamiyo. And I'll play the Scalding Tarn, I guess. Do I attack? No, I think I'm supposed to block with Bowmasters. Is Bowmasters or Tamiyo more valuable here? I think it's Tamiyo. Like, Tamiyo can draw a card. I know, like, drawing cards with Sheoldred in play is not ideal. But, we do only need to find, like, one answer to Sheoldred here. Did they have a... Oh, they just have Doomsday. Interesting. I guess their life total is so high, you know, what can go wrong kind of thing. Here we go. I don't see any Sheoldreds. So either they are just playing the one, or they have her hidden away. Let's see. 1 force, 2, 3 force of will. 1, 2 days, 3 days. Let's go. Please give me an answer to Sheoldred. That's not it. I'll attack with Tamiyo, and then I will draw a card and draw up to 10. And I'll just concede GG's opponent. Alright, on the play for round number 4. Yeah. I'll keep this. I'll probably go under City Sewers. Put mulligans to 6. And let's see, what do we get? I'll take a 3rd land. 3rd land is good because we need to play 3 drops, and also if we get wastelanded. Basic Island, nothing but blue decks this league so far, which is actually kind of cool and what I would have liked, you know, given the choice ahead of time with this list. So that's pretty sweet. They do not shuffle. We draw Misty Rainforest, which I think we just play another force. I think I like actually casting Barrowgoyf here. Oh, it's a Stifle. No, it's Brainstorm. What? That's incredibly interesting. This could be a thing where they have days in their hand and they're worried about Bowmasters. So while I would not be able to pay for a days, yeah, makes me even more interested in making this Bowmaster a sacrificial days lamb. There's days. Barrowgoyf is gone. So what's the splash here? Okay. Thundering Falls. So it's Delver or, I mean, like, is it a tempo kind of thing? Or Sneak and Show? Okay, probably not Sneak and Show then. Okay, Corey Steelcutter, and now they can't pay for days. So I am free to resolve Doomsday. Would like another land here. Don't get it. But hey, look at this. If they do fight over this, I get to days, and then I haven't made my land drop. They days, okay. Now, if they also have a force, they'll get a trigger off of their steel cutter, so we have to be careful. That didn't appear to be a thing they had. Or maybe, who knows, still on the stack. Okay. So we have to make sure we don't die next turn, but they don't have a lot of mana to cast multiple spells and do a lot of stuff. So I'll be at 9. If they were to go like land drop, bobble, bolt me, then they get a 2/2 and they deal me 5 damage. And I don't see how they could do a whole lot more, but I don't know. What's the play here? So we could, let's say we play our Consider now off of Underground Sea. Consider away days, draw cycler, draw second cycler on our draw step, and then we cycle through the pile. Yeah. Let's put cavern on the bottom, then Thassa, then the two cyclers. I'll just play consider now. Put away days. We get the Edge of Autumn, and we can use that on the land they wasteland if they choose to do so. They had double wasteland. I was thinking about that, but fortunately that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna cycle. They probably wasteland response. I am Jack's complete lack of surprise. I draw for my my edge and untap and win. Cycle, draw cavern. And now I really just hope they didn't look over my exile zone. Oh, never mind. They saw the Barrowgoyf because we played that earlier. Okay, so they do know that something is up here. All right, so this is the is a Delver special sideboarding plan of bring in all this stuff and board out the Doomsdays. I think maybe having Consider is better than having the Street Wraith. Yeah, we'll keep this. I really don't like how not great we are versus multiple wastelands here, but other than that, it's pretty okay. They go top with their preordain. Frightening. I do have the ability to go like island swamp here, so I think I am going to do that, and maybe we can brainstorm this sewers away later, or we'll just have to bite the bullet at a later point. Yeah, I think these cards are pretty good. We don't know if they're also Grixis. They could be like a Bowmasters deck. So right now there's an Underground Sea on top of the deck. I think I actually just I was really thinking about making the Undercity Sewers play there, getting rid of the Underground Sea, but I think I am gonna do this to make it possible for me to go Orcish Bowmasters and like play around days, which will probably get like a Force of Will, but honestly that's pretty fine depending like considering the rest of our hand. I'll accept the Ponder as well. They could Lightning Bolt in response, which would be like not great, but also acceptable. So Bowmasters resolves. Let's see if they bolted. Looks like they are going to do that. Unholy Heat. Okay. That is kind of the same, only Unholy Heat could at a later point probably have killed Barrowgoyf. So that's kind of a win, you know? And a Wasteland. They shuffled on the Ponder. I think I'm just going to Surveil now. Bite the bullet on that one. I'll put the Barrowgoyf on top. I'm going to play a Barrowgoyf now with the option to down into the lock, drown into the lock if I need to, but that will cost me my pedal and play into days, which is not something I'm terribly interested in. But Barrowgoyf just resolved. Okay. I still don't think I've seen a creature here, right? I've seen the Corey Steelcutter. That was his game one, right? Yeah. Okay. Preordain. I'll allow it. Okay, now it's bottom, right? And there's the Wasteland. Another Wasteland. All the Wastelands. Really happy I went with my two basics here. And there is already a creature in the graveyard, so there's no point in playing out the Barrowgoyf beforehand. Let's just attack. Is this Petty Theft? No, it's Snapcaster Mage. That's fine. That's just gain 4 life and discard a card. That's what Barrowgoyf became, rather than the deal 4 damage and mill. Let's see, what do you think about the second one? Alright. You just drown these Izzet players in Barrowgoyfs. They wasteland my Underground Sea, yeah. And pass the turn. I kind of get the feeling that there are probably multiple Pyroblasts in their hand. I'm not going to test it though. I could like sack my pedal to like deal them 2 more damage, but I don't think that's correct. This pedal right now lets me play kind of around days. Unholy Heat. Do they have? Yeah, they do have. I guess I'll counter target spell with mana value so and so. But now they can Pyroblast. If they do that, I probably Brainstorm and see if I hit a daze. They might have a daze. Okay, so let's put back. We're gonna lose one of these cards and then get to probably. Let's put back Murktide and Tamiyo, and so I lose my one Barrowgoyf here, and I trigger. I flip over Tamiyo, Murktide, and something else, and I think I take Tamiyo, honestly, and I just play her now as a wizard. I mean, yeah, they could have more Pyroblasts, and this could ensure that, what do you call it, Barrowgoyf resolves next turn for sure, but I still feel like my advantage is quite overwhelming. I guess, like, a Murktide Regent for them right now would be kind of good. That does appear to be what's happening, sure. And I think I do just attack with everything here, make them decide what they want to do. They want to trade with Barrowgoyf. So I'm going to play this Dark Ritual, which is going to let me cast Barrowgoyf and then draw a card with my clue. They could have Force. That's fine. Barrowgoyf is in. I might just wait with this clue token. And they concede. Sweet. Nicely done, Barrowgoyf. I salute you. Off to the final round. All right, final round on the draw. Let's see how we do. I reluctantly keep. Not in love with this hand. The Thassa's Oracle in Edge of Autumn kind of make it awkward. Another blue deck. We're 5 for 5. I think I actually am gonna go and see if I can get a little bit of a blowout here with Dark Ritual, Bowmasters backed up with Daze. Like, imagine if they probably don't, but imagine if they had gone Brainstorm here. Hamana Hamana. They still might Brainstorm on their turn. Mistrise Village. I am going to Dark Ritual Bowmasters this. This is a Sneak and Show deck, I'm pretty sure. If they Force of Will this, then it sucks. But is what it is. Okay, Bowmasters is in. Like, basically this gives me 3 power at the cost of a Dark Ritual and a card in my hand on top of that. It makes the rest of their cantripping escapades in this game bad, but like their combo doesn't need to draw cards. So this mostly is just like it gives me a flip Delver basically. They shuffle the Ponder, love to see that. And there's a Doomsday. Let's cast Ponder. Like, these are fine cards, but they're not really letting me advance the game. I'm gonna shuffle Brainstorm, okay. Well, let's hope they aren't close to having what they need. There's a Petal. Okay, looks like they're just going for stock up here. I'm gonna daze that. Not sure if this daze is ever gonna be useful later on. They Force of Will pitching Brainstorm, okay. They found a land. So if they have a soul land in hand, they can make a show and tell uncounterable next turn. They're passing. Wow, that's big. Oh, okay, never mind. They're casting something. Show and tell. Boo. Alright. So I am going to cycle this Edge of Autumn and then draw with Brainstorm, or cast Brainstorm, and then hope to find Force of Will. Which I didn't. I think I just put in a land here. Let's put back a Doomsday and Thassa, I guess. Am I dead? Do you? Okay, it's Emrakul. Unfortunately, I am probably still dead, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can build a winning pile, unfortunately, with only 2 lands. And so I would go Dark Ritual Doomsday, but I can't draw more than 1 card. Oh, that's aggravating. if I wait, what would my like I can cantrip right now. Okay, yeah, actually, let's try that. If I cast Ponder, and then Ponder shows me like what would it have to be like a cycler and like LED or something like that. It's not impossible, but it's certainly pretty unlikely. There is a cycler, but unfortunately I won't be able to use it. That is what we needed, right? So let's see that if this was Edge of Autumn, I would no, I still would be a mana short. So I'm gonna shuffle and I draw Brainstorm, so if the top of my deck is either Edge of Autumn or a Lotus Petal, then we might be able to win. Still haven't like worked it all out. I guess I attacking here is kind of nonsensical, so I'm gonna lose. Or I guess it doesn't matter. I'll lose. I was gonna lose my Bowmasters anyways. Okay, sacrificing these. Come on, please let me draw Lotus Petal or a Cycler. Please also like let my opponent not draw anything that interacts with me. Okay. All right. So I think like we want the Forces of Negation. We want the Emrakul for YOLOs. And what don't we want? Like we don't want the Fatal Push. I think we'll cut the Drown and the Lock. And maybe I'll go down to two Barrowgoyfs. I'll keep this. I'll go turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Thoughtseize. If they Pyroblast this, it's a little bit annoying. But I have the second one if I can draw another blue card for Force, and I could then go Thoughtseize Tamiyo. Or I could go Orcish Bowmasters. I guess I'll do that instead. I mean, you know what's coming, bud. They kept a card on top here. They let the Bowmasters resolve, which I get. Like, we went over this. Like, their combo doesn't really care about this, but still. And they shuffle. Okay, like that. I really want a blue card here, please. Okay. It's not a blue card. But it can become a blue card. I can kind of anyways, right? I can fetch Undercity Sewers and then get a Surveil and then cycle Edge. Okay. I think I just take their sneak attack here. And then I attack with my creatures and then probably play Tamiyo. It's a little bit greedy, I guess, but they found an ancient tomb. I'm gonna do the play. I think so at least. I'm gonna fetch Undercity Sewers here. Oh, that's not a blue card, but it is a good card. Alright, I'm gonna keep it on top and let them cast stock up. They could play a Lotus Petal here and then cast the Disruptor Flute, but that does not appear to be happening. Alright, let's attack. Okay. I get my trigger, I will cast Doomsday. If they force this, Alright, so let's get Thassa, but also Jace. They are showing us Consign to Memory. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna put Emrakul in here as well. Yeah, this is funny. I guess Lion's Eye Diamond to cast Jace at some point. Street Wraith, is that a thing? Because I'll be losing a land here. Yeah, let's try this. We'll put rather Jace on the bottom with LED on top. And then, like, if they go show and tell, I could also just end the game with Thassa. No, but then they have the consign. I guess I will go like this, put Emrakul on top, and we'll see. There's a Lotus Petal. Really hope they didn't find another sneak attack. If they did, I have no one to blame but myself. Okay, so they have one unknown card right now. Consign to Memory, Disruptor Flute attracts a Scalding Tarn plus one unknown. Please, please, please don't be sneak attack. Okay, they're passing. Guess I'll attack. I could keep back Tamiyo in case they find attracts or like find sneak attack attracts, but I think if they do that, it's probably just over. We're also at a point now where we can cycle or like activate a clue token, draw the Street Wraith, cycle that so we don't have to lose a land, and then we have force blue card. Mysterized Village. Okay, this is probably Disruptor Flute coming in hot. That's fine. It'll cost them 2 life or their pedal. Well, I mean, they are going to run out of life before I run out of cards, I would think. Let's see if they have the Jace tech sort of at front of mind here. My problem with Jace, of course, is that I can't Jace without losing my Force of Will because I'll need the LED and all that good stuff. So if they just find like a Pyroblast or whatever, then Jace no longer wins. They named Thassa's Oracle. Okay, that sort of finalizes Thassa's status as force fodder here. They don't appear to be able to make either green, black, or white mana, so hardcast Thassa seems off the table. Okay, they are casting something here. Show and tell, huh? I think I'll draw a card. Like, I would like to get the Thassa's Oracle into my hand. Fetching down 1, okay. This is not an activate or a triggered ability. So their hand is Consign to Memory, Atraxa, and 1 more. And if that 1 more is Omniscience, then I'm screwed. So, but I mean, I can't really do anything about that. I could put Thassa in here, but they have the Consign, so I'm not going to do that. Let's just put an Emrakul. That's right, baby. And they find a Sneak Attack and a Pyroblast and Flusterstorm, but none of that is going to matter. They take Sneak Attack, Pyroblast, City of Traders, and Emrakul. And I guess then I get to win. I will just attack with everything. They can force the not force. They can consign to memory the trigger here, the Emrakul sack trigger, but they're at 1 life. So how are we? Why are we still playing here? Yeah, you can counter both triggers. I don't care. Okay, so Emrakul dies. It shuffles. Oh, never mind. I am being a little bit foolhardy here. Oh yeah, of course. I'm a dummy. They had the they gained the life, and now they can sneak attack. Oh my god, I'm such a doofus. Okay. And now there are like shuffled 4 cards in my deck. They didn't take a Force of Will. But the problem is I need things to happen in pretty much the perfect order here. All right, let's start with a Street Wraith cycle, and if this is Jace, we're dead. It's Emrakul. Okay. The problem, I can draw 2 more cards here, but I do need like the next card to be Lion's Eye Diamond, and it could be either Doomsday or Jace. Oi oi oi. All right, let's draw here. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Tamiyo flips. And so what do we do with that nugget of information? Oh man. Well, let's see. They have City of Traders, so they can both sneak attack, Pyroblast, and activate. So I am just gone here. Let's give them the joyous moment. They can also they can make it uncounterable. Alrighty. GG's opponent. Alright, let's recap here. The final game, I really just wasn't seeing things clearly. I didn't really understand everything, and that cost me. It's not certain I would have won, but I think like so once they trade with Emrakul, um, then even as far as with the Emrakul trigger on the stack, the shuffle trigger, I could draw a card with my with my clue token. That would have drawn me a Street Wraith. And then I could have cycled the Street Wraith. I believe that was the point. Anyways, I could have had LED in my hand. And at that point, then I would untap, and then my 3 cards in deck are Jace, um, Doomsday, and Emrakul. And as long as Jace was not the top card, I could have then won. You know, given that they don't have like another like Force of Will or something. But that didn't happen. I just was all giddy, thinking I was all golden. Forgot about the life. Forgot about the life gain on Atraxa. But anyways, I thought this list was really fun and cool, and I don't know. I like playing these kinds of lists, and we got to smack around the tempo decks, which was nice. And then we lost to the 2 other combo decks, which I think we probably at least should not. I would feel comfortable playing this list versus combo a lot of the time. But yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I love that you come back to this channel, and I hope to be able to bring you a lot of fun legacy stuff in the future. So thanks a lot. I'll be back.